Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Twice This Is For album part 3, the last part, I swear. We get to the last songs, and I am both excited to hear Heartbreak Avenue specifically, and extremely nervous to finish up the rest of these unit songs, because the first two were interesting. I feel like there is only so much I can say without getting myself into some trouble. But I'm having so much fun with this album, and I think that getting a full album from them is already fun, right? I haven't checked out like all of them yet, so it's fun to get so many songs all at once from Twice. And just like the vibe of it, like I was saying, there's so much attitude and confidence and girl power and encouragement in this whole album that I'm just having a blast with it anyway. So I wish we had more like music videos and stuff though. Is that just me being greedy? I would like some more special videos, thank you. I'm excited to check out the rest of this album. I did legitimately need to just take a second where I was like, I need to center myself. I need to like remind myself that they're just people and it's fine, and to not freak out. It's making me nervous, okay? Let love go. Y'all seem to be doing fine with just like hanging out with the girls, so I'm fine with that too. Oh dear. You started with a fret slide on a bass. Okay, first off, the bass in this, I love a good bass. Second, the little like flip ups they're doing, Sui opening up this song, gorgeous vocals. And I also love some of the imagery in it, right? The I'm alive, I like having that again with the we are alive in Mars. Maybe I'm just projecting about how much I love that song. But I like the heart beating, right? You think of the heartbeat as like your heart pumping blood, right? But then took a beating. A beating is also hitting something, right? So I like the play on those words there. And hammer in my chest, you usually say that as, oh, my heart started beating frantically because I was like falling in love with someone, and this is like the other side of it, right? So I like them playing off of some of these images that we get in like romantic songs of falling in love with someone, and they're flipping them around to make it like more of a moving on from it. And I like the like no hard feelings, like whatever, like I held on for so long, my body went numb and my knuckles turned white, right? Like this idea of wanting to make something work and it just wasn't going to do it, right? Like holes in my common sense of I couldn't actually see this as something that was like falling apart. I was just trying to desperately keep all the pieces together. And it's I'm fine, moving on. I can see now how ridiculous it was to even want that to continue to be something in my life. Ooh, gorgeous cadence. Whoa, okay, first off, gorgeous cadence. Second, was this Momo or was this Sana? I'm like, I know that some of these lyric videos are not correct. I know that people always get up a little bit in arms at that. I take every lyric video with a grain of salt, both in terms of what the lyrics say, especially when it's like translations, and who's singing what parts, okay? I am paying attention. I just don't mention everything because I'm like, I assume that we all know that we can hear stuff, right? Maybe I assume too much. I don't know. But I love the cadences and they'll go and it's like into these like vocalizations. I think that's such a like wonderful way of doing it as well. Like it's like letting something go, not trying to like, control it, contain it, right? Which is very in contrast to what they were talking about, like trying to hold on to something. And like this idea of, oh, if I could get through that heartbreak, then nothing can hurt me, right? So it's like I'm letting go of this thing that like it felt like it was love, and now that I'm looking at it through a different lens of being separated from it, I can see that's like not what I was fighting for, right? Really fun, like a bit of a retro feeling with it too. Like it feels very like a little bit of an 80s vibe to it, especially with the chorus. Or 70s? Seems some more like groove to it. Look at the little guitar there, the vocalization too. See, isn't that also Sana? It sounds like her. I like that. I like this idea of I'm better now. Again, like I was saying, they're talking about how I had like holes in my common sense implies that like you can see now there was problems, right? Like you can see now that it wasn't all rosy, right? It wasn't as great as you thought it was when you were in the thick of it. And I like that now they're like, I see it for what it is now that I'm out of it. I can see it more clearly and I'm better off moving on. And you're like, you're better for that, because if you had stayed stuck in that place, if you stayed keeping hold of this thing that you thought was love, or like this thing that you thought would be wonderful in your life, you would have never have seen the issues with it the way that you do now. So I really like that. Yeah, like the worst thing that could happen made me better. Even them talking about if that's the worst thing that could happen, if I can survive that, then I guess I can do anything, right? Like it's saying, oh, I've been through a worst case, right? I've been through a horrific heartbreak, which means that like, why should I be scared of anything else? And I think it's interesting to say let go of love. I don't see it necessarily as letting go of, it's like as cynical as like letting go of love altogether. It just seems like maybe like the concept of love, right? Of like desperately needing to be loved, or feeling like you should have like love in your life, or like the idea of what love is. And definitely something that Twice has played off of in other music that I've checked out from them is what is love? The whole album, but this idea of what do we see love as, and how does like different media shape that, and how does the stories that we tell about love shape that, and it isn't necessarily actually what it is in real life. And I think that it's interesting to have more mature spin on that, and have a very like upbeat, fun, dancey song that again is pulling from some of those retro vibes which go with what the album is. But I think also, again, I said a little bit in the What Is Love album that I went through, that it feels a bit like talking about love throughout the ages of we've always had different concepts of what counts as love, and like how we talk about love, and it shifts throughout media, throughout time, even though love persists regardless of how it's portrayed, right? Like love doesn't shift from one era to the next. It's just that what actual love is stays the same, and the way that we portray our kind of romanticized version of it shifts with media. So I think that's really interesting too. Ooh, I like that. Then anyone can. I like that shift to the lyrics. Gorgeous little vibrato there from her. Beautiful. Ooh, even that like heartbreak to gold, I didn't know until I let love go. This idea, again, like I was saying, it's not like letting go of giving up on love in a cynical sense. It's like letting go of like the concept of what love is, or needing to hold on to it, right? We're talking about like holding on to something until your knuckles turn white. The more that you want to hold on to love or keep it with you, the more that it gets crushed, right? It gets disfigured because you're holding onto it so tight that it can't sustain itself anymore. So it's like the only way for me to figure out how to properly experience love, whether that's like for myself or other people, the only way to properly know what that is like is to not be so desperate to hold on to something that is like fitting into what I think love is supposed to be instead of just what it is, right? Like you need to just let love be, and doesn't mean it doesn't take work, doesn't mean that it doesn't take some intentionality, but the more that you desperately try to hold on to it, do you love that person, or are you just afraid of being alone? So I think that them saying, oh, I didn't understand that I was going to be a better person if I just wasn't trying to hold on to something that I felt was like validating who I am or what I'm feeling or whatever, right? I love that vocalization. I like how that loops. Ooh, it just flows directly into it again. I love the bass line in this. Ooh, that was really fun, especially again playing off of some of the expectations of a love song, right? So some of the imagery of that, but also I think having like heavy like bass and percussion, usually that's seen as like the heartbeat of a song, right? It sets the pace of so much of the song in that like rhythm section, right? And I think that having something that's very heavily in that percussion and bass for the production, and then having a song that's about I can't control love in my life or to like hold on to it desperately. It's only when you like loosen that grip that you get to actually experience what love is and understand what it is, right? Because it's like trying to contain it and hold it back and keep it with you desperately is always going to like corrupt it and make it is something that it shouldn't be anymore. So I think it's a really fun song. It's a nice little break, I think, from some of the stuff that has been going on with these songs. I like getting a little bit reprieve, and I think that it also fits really well with some of the stuff that's been going on in this album of putting aside this idea of trying to search for some kind of validation externally or to get interest from someone else. It's like I'm just with my friends having fun, enjoying my life, and if you don't like that, I don't have time to deal with that. Like, that seems like a you problem that you're gonna have to deal with because I'm too busy doing my own thing. I'm not trying to change myself to fit with what love is. I'm not trying to hold on to it desperately. I'm not trying to force it to be in my life if that's not what is there right now, right? If that's what the other person wants, if it's better to move on to other things, like I'm not going to like desperately cling on to it because I have so many other things going on in my life, right? So I think that it fits really well with just like the overall message of the album. All right, fine. This is the one that scares me. GOAT. GOAT. Because this is the bias line. I'm not built for y'all to come at me all together. You know what I mean? I've already had problems with each and every one of you this album. These photos are also a lot for me to have to deal with simultaneously, but we'll do it and we'll get it out of the way and it'll be fine.
Baby, I'm the goat. Drip, drip, drip. Baby, I'm the goat. Don't try me. Don't try me, can't you see? Can't you see I'm in the flow? Yeah, drip, 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 drip. Like a waterfall that can't be stopped. Make it rain in a miss a spot. Keeping me.
Wait. The Make It Rain didn't miss a spot, and the way that she puts a little bit of vocal fry on it, also fun. I wasn't expecting such minimal production so far, which is interesting. I would never try Mina, honestly. I've given up all responsibility for her actions. Someone else needs to collect her after this album. I'm like, I fold.
Baby, I'm the goat. Drip, drip, drip. Baby, I'm the goat. Don't try me. Don't try me, can't you see? Can't you see I'm in the flow? Yeah, drip, 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 drip. Like a waterfall that can't be stopped. Make it rain in a miss a spot. Keeping busy, I've been out on the road. When the loneliness was taking its toll. Left me alone to dry. Phoenix watch me rise. So bad that you go. Once in me cry, got me on a road.
Ooh, that pause before getting that like light, soft vocal. Gorgeous. Ooh, wait. I like the Phoenix Watch Me Rise.
Once in me cry, got me on a royal fire. Try to bring me low, wanna go higher. 'Cause I get it going with this fire. Yes, I am the girl like the fire. Got me on a royal fire. Try to bring me low, wanna go higher. 'Cause I get it going with this fire. Yes, I am the girl on the top. Baby, I'm the gold. Baby, I'm the gold. Baby, I'm the gold.
Mina, do not go into your deeper range with me. I was just gonna say, I like that we have a nice, like, light, airy tone from all of them. And I love that we've got so many, like, gentle ones with this, like, much more subdued sound. Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on with the production, but it has a much, like, lower vibe to it compared to some of the other songs that we've gotten, like, on this album, but also with the units. And I think that's really fun, too. Especially, like, same kind of confidence that's bringing forward. And it's, like, playing off of what we got in Let Love Go, acknowledging that, hey, there were moments in which I felt lonely or I had gone through some stuff or whatever, but it's like, I am not going to let that tear me down, right? I'm not going to sit here and cry and having this whole show of how I'm feeling. It's not like I'm completely destroyed by what happened. Yeah, I had a moment, right? Yes, I was hurt. Yes, I had my moments where I was like dealing with it, but it didn't destroy me. I'm too busy like doing other things to talk about, like being on the road, right? Like they're like, I'm doing shows and living my life and having a career. There are so many other things in my life. Like I was saying with the previous song too, there's so many other things in my life, and they've been going through some of that for this album that are outside of romance and love and all of that, right? Kind of going into this is for, and they've talked about the ladies and stuff like that, but it was like, this is for the song. But I think for the album, yeah, it's playing off of 4 as in the number 4, fourth album, but it's like in a lot of ways, like this is for them, right? This is for them to be saying like, I'm gonna do this because that's part of who I am. It's because it makes me happy. I'm wearing this for me. I'm singing this for me. I'm performing this for me. I'm doing these like hobbies and activities and stuff for me, right? It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing or like what their thoughts are or like how they're living their life. I'm living my life for me, and that's all that matters. So I like that they're bringing so that intimate. It's like a very like lower vibe than I was expecting. Yeah, I like that too. Like, I'm too busy. I have a goal. I'm too busy. Wait. Okay, first off, I got a lot of love, but ain't none for you is like a crazy thing to be like, hey, I have so much love in my life. It's just not for you. I feel offended, and I know it's not even pointed towards me. And I'm already like, ow, dang. And the like clock don't stop, and you have that pause in the music, but also being on the clock, right? Again, them talking about like, I've been on the road, I have a career, I have other things going on, and you're gonna like the view, make your jaw drop to my future. Crazy line to be like, hey, I'm gonna do something incredible. I have a goal that I'm going after. I have too many other things going on in my life to let you ruin anything, right? And saying, hey, when you see my future, it's gonna make your jaw drop. It's gonna take your breath away. You're gonna be so surprised by how incredible my life is going. And I love that. It's not like this vicious way either, right? I think that goes with how soft a bunch of their vocals are and how lower like energy this song is. It's just like, so in line with this being like, I'm too busy vibing through my life and having a good time to be worried about what's going on with you. I don't feel anything for you other than, okay. There's almost like this apathy for this other person who thinks that they're like going to make them cry, make anything happen in their life. A little whine, like this idea of they're still like sad sometimes, right? Sometimes the loneliness comes in. Like it's not like they're not without feelings. It's just that it's not ruining my life. I have too many other things going on that I'm excited for and that I enjoy to let you ruin everything, right? I like it's a deeper voice, but it's still soft from them. With the added layers. I love all the layers. Ooh, and like that we get a little bit of closure at certain points later in the song too. Again, like a little bit more like confidence, right? Going for that really light sound for a lot of this to fit into that easy sound from a lot of them, right? Where it's like, it's light, it's breathy, it's unbothered. There's no like huge emotion to it. And even when we get those vocals that have more closure, it's just like confident. Sure, there's a little bit more steadiness to it. And it's not like this huge like burst of emotion that's coming from the vocals. It's just, again, that confidence like settling in and almost like this firmness too of I'm fine, right? Like you can sit here and you can keep trying to find signs that my life is falling apart without you. It's not. I'm fine. I'm sad sometimes, right? Like sometimes I'm lonely. Sometimes I'm like, wow, it really sucks. That was a thing I had to go through. But it's not tearing my entire existence apart. I have too many things are going on. I have too many goals for the future. It's fine. So I love that vibe. And I feel like there are so many breakup songs, or it could be like anything, right? Like any kind of struggle. It doesn't have to just be love. It can also just be like any time when someone has done something that has hurt you, right? It could be like a friendship that fell apart, or someone that you thought you could trust in any instance of your life and then found out, oh, actually, I shouldn't have trusted that person. And continuing to like get back up on your feet and continue forward, right? And this idea of I'm too busy being the goat for that. I'm too busy being amazing for that to be something that's gonna tip the ship over, right? So I love that vibe going through this, especially after something like Let Love Go, right? It's like I'm letting go of something that I was trying to hold on to so badly, and then you get something like this where it's like I'm too busy doing other things now, too busy being confident in myself. Really nice song, like so many beautiful vocals where they were all like layering up over top of each other too. Talk. This also has me a little bit worried because I remember this one standing out to me when we did the teaser, like track teaser mix thing. This one took me out like a little bit, and also these two voices together. Yes, please. It's gonna be gorgeous regardless of what genre we're going for with sound. I feel like it's a little bit of a softer vibe, which I do find really interesting that we had some songs that were a little bit more high energy, like earlier on in the album, and even like the first couple of unit things, right, are a lot of like confidence and fun kind of dancey track things, right? And then it softened out a little bit. I think that's really fun too, like different dynamics for their voices, because the first two units were all the members, and then we got like the other units to have the members again, if that makes sense. So I think it's fun that we're getting the two sides of it.
Talk to me, talk to me. What my messages I'm going through tonight. Got me panicking, I want you by my side. 'Cause I'm a better alone, no. Baby, pick up the phone, I'm missing your tone, no. Now I'm having flashbacks, yeah. I feel like I'm a replay, every sound, every word like a DJ, yeah. Easier to just say that you can, no. Now I gotta replay all the times that you went did me dirty, no. If there was a reverse, or just open me first, like.
Ooh, I love their voices. I love that we're getting some of those like darker tones from both of them. And I also love that it's like, again, like being stuck in like your own head and being like, none of my messages are going through, and panicking, and even like just saying like panicking this, I'm not better alone. It's almost like, again, getting stuck in your head, getting stuck in your own mind, and these thoughts swirling around when you don't have something to distract you and you're ruminating on someone. And this almost feels like again, after a relationship or something, like trying to go back to someone or like something, or like whatever, whoever you're trying to reach out to. I always try to keep it more open whenever I'm like, it could be more than just a love song. Some people are like, it's just a love song. I'm like, yeah, but that's boring. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna be like Twice is one of my favorite artists, but also they are just gonna write a breakup song or a falling in love song when you could interpret it lots of different ways, I'm like, I feel like that's a discredit to like their discography in the way that you can see it from lots of different sides. But anyways, like whatever it is, it's like reaching out to someone that you know that you should, like, it's, I feel like I'm on replay because it's like, I know that I shouldn't be going back. I know that I shouldn't be saying the same things. I know that I shouldn't be trying to go back to this moment that feels better than being alone, but it's not good. Is it like a healthy relationship? It'd be better to have a healthy relationship, and like easier if you just said that you care. It'd be easier if you just were something that wasn't toxic or terrible or whatever. I like the replay and DJ like playing off of some of the music, playing over and over again. And I've talked already about how they play off of like how media portrays love and romance. And I like that we're bringing some of that music imagery into this song too, of I want to feel like one of those love songs, the emotions and the like snapshot of a moment that could be portrayed in a love song. And I want that for myself, even though I understand that isn't what this is. It's all like a kind of like fantasy or an illusion. I understand that because I understand that you don't actually care, but I want to pretend for a little bit, right? Yeah, and you're gonna remind yourself that it was bad.
Just talk to me. Baby, know that you can talk. You ain't gotta walk on me. Trust me, you ain't gotta walk. I was gonna let you down, suck around. Don't be acting shady. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Ooh, also just like their voices together are gorgeous, but also the walk on me. Interesting to also have like, if the roles were reversed. I think that is also interesting, again, given the amount of commentary that there seems to be in this album, just like women's perspectives and playing off of like expectations of some of the women. And that definitely happens a lot in like media, whether that's as an idol or just like in different types of media, the roles that women play in those stories, especially like love stories. I think it's interesting to say, hey, if the roles were reversed, what would this be? And I think that is also quite interesting. It's, would you also be treating this the way that I'm treating it if you had gone through the same kind of like heartbreak or disrespect or whatever? And I also love the repetition of like talk, right? It's like it doesn't even need to be anything. It's not like a specific thing of we need to talk about this, or I want you to say that, or I need reassurance of anything. It's I just want you to say literally anything to me, because being alone sucks. And even though I know this isn't a good option, it's better than being alone. And I think that's like heavy in a way. But also, I think that we've all had moments like that where you're like, you're just lonely. And you're like, who might be like the easiest person to get a hold of? Make you feel less alone instantly, or again, validated in some way. So I think that it's real. It's just heavy.
We were friends first of all, don't you lie, read your eyes, tell me right to, yeah. Just tell me some slight and stupid like that, yeah. I could feel everything, overthink, I can see through, yeah. A woman's intuition ain't never wrong, no.
Ooh, the cadences. And I like that they drew out some of those. I like the overtime, overthink. I think that's a fun like play on words. And then like I could always see through you, right? Like this idea of you understand this person. Like we were friends first, right? Of saying, I know you, right? Like I know what kind of person you are. And that means like I understand your behavior a lot better than you think I do, right? I'm not like anyone else that you might have treated this way because I understand you better than the average person does, right? Again, like I love the switching up the cadences of some of that faster delivery and then drawing out certain words. Fun.
We were friends first of all, don't you lie, read your eyes, tell me right to, yeah. Just call me some slight and stupid like that, yeah. I could feel everything, overthink, I can see through, yeah.
Gorgeous transition for that lighter sound down too. God, their vocals. I know I'm interrupting right away, but she did not need to put that little bit of vocal fry at the beginning of that why like that. Deal, ma'am. Don't be like that, okay? Thank you.
Just talk to me. Baby, know that you can do it. Gotta walk on me. Just be you ain't gotta walk.
I don't need you to have your vocals like that. Thank you. Ooh, but also, okay, just say not having like a bit of a softer vocal delivery there, but I do think it's like more like conversational, right? It's more like talking as opposed to like singing. And I think that kind of adds in to the overall thing of I want almost like frustration of putting down this imagery of the song, right? So they're like actually like singing songs a little bit of meta, but putting aside like this being something that is like fitting with a song and it's getting a little bit more real, a little more candid. Just talk to me. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like complicated. Like I was saying, they're not saying talk about something specific. And I also think that it's interesting that we have we were friends first and like intuition thing, right? It could also not just be like a romance that's gone wrong or a betrayal or anything. It doesn't have to be anything like that extreme. It could just be like ghosting, right? Like it could just be like we were friends and then maybe something happened or like one of them felt more than the other one and there was some weird energy then and it was just like that person goes to you. So just talk to me. Can we just have a conversation instead of pretending that I don't exist anymore? Because like I know you and you know me, and we don't need to pretend we're strangers when we know each other. Like you can just message me back. You can just open the messages and read them. So I think that it's interesting dynamic as well of not just like being lonely and like in a moment of weakness wanting to reach out to someone. It could also just be like, I don't want to ruin something just because I wanted to have a conversation about something. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could also just be like being candid about something that you feel, whether or not that's like romantic. It could be a platonic thing of just, I have some thoughts and opinions about something that you did or something that you said or some way that you've treated me, of me like trying to remember all of like the things that you did to me that I don't appreciate, of just being like, hey, maybe don't do that anymore. Putting up a boundary of sorts. I don't want to like completely throw out everything that we've built. Can we also just have a conversation, right? Like, can you just acknowledge that I exist? So I think that's also like an interesting dynamic to bring into it.
Talk to me. Baby, know that you can do it. Gotta walk on me. Just so you ain't gotta walk. Always go up and down, look around. Don't be acting shy.
Even like you don't have to walk. You can be like walk away from something.
Talk to me. Talk to me. It's a kind of complex question, so let me be inner. You're supposed to be the man for me, the one I adore.
Gorgeous vocal.
I'm gonna know how.
Oh, I love that. The phone call.
I'm gonna know how. Why can't you just talk to me? Baby, know that you can talk. You ain't gotta walk, you ain't gotta walk on me. Trust me, you ain't gotta walk. I was gonna hunt you down, suck around. Don't be acting shady. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Ugh, gorgeous. I knew that their vocals were gonna be great, but I like that we have this buildup of emotion near that like bridge, and then the hello and everything contains itself again, right? Like it's once you get like some kind of response, you're like, I'm gonna rein in some of the things that I might be saying to the walls while I pace around, being like, why won't you talk to me? Again, maybe I'm projecting a little bit too much. I feel like we've all had moments where we're like, I'm worried that something is like falling apart, and I feel like it doesn't have to if we could just talk about it. It feels so little closure to have something like ghosting, right? Like when someone just like stops talking to you and you're like, I don't know really what happened and I have questions and I would like some answers, and it would be so much easier for me to understand what has gone wrong. Has something gone wrong? Like what the issue is if we actually talk about it, right? Like how am I supposed to figure all of that out if I'm just like swirling around in my own thoughts and you're not like giving me any input on what's going on? Really gorgeous on like their vocals. I like that we got some of those darker tones from them and it went really well with the instrumentation. I also like that we had some of those like synths that almost sound like lasers sounds, but we're in the This Is For song as well. I like carrying some of that over into this very different sound, but I think that it's fun to have some of that pulled forward into the other songs. Gorgeous. Loved it so much. Seesaw, full group again. Just admiring how pretty they are in these pictures. I have no idea what Seesaw is going to be other than that's what this album feels like. Like we start with a lot of confidence. I feel like we got into some territory of like weakness, which is not bad. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that as we got into some more nuances of it's fine to say a bunch of stuff and to be super confident, but that doesn't mean you don't have moments when you're not, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have any feelings, even if the outward persona is like super confident yourself, even if generally you feel like confident, you're going to do stuff like for yourself, like I was saying, but still have emotions, still get sad, you still have like loneliness, like things still happen in your life that you feel emotions about. So Seesaw could maybe be part of that, the like ups and downs. Ooh, that's fun. It's almost like electronic, like not quite 8-bit, but in that vein.
So curious, it makes me weak. 호기심이 또 날 내게 끌리게 해. I didn't mean to love you like that, but I can't hold back. Just want a chance, need a chance, yeah. But you won't say where. Why won't you say that?
Ooh, okay. First off, I love that we have, again, this very almost like 8-bit-esque song, like very like electronic sounding and like the kind of sped up cadence for certain parts of it. I also think it's interesting to be like, I didn't mean to love you like that. I didn't mean to fall the way that I did. I didn't mean to have all this. Even the I'm so curious, it makes me weak. This idea of I want to know more about you. I looked around, I'm like, oh no, I feel more than I thought I would. I'm like, I wasn't trying to fall in love with someone. And I think that also fits into what I was saying about this song begins with so much like confidence and independence and self-assurance. And then you look around, you're like, oh no, wait, I feel so much more about something than I thought I would. And I didn't mean to. And I thought that I would be totally fine on my own. It's like, I don't even care. Trying to like continue with some of that like self-confidence and independence. But it's like, I do though, right? Like I do actually care. And I think that is like interesting to be like, even though I'm like confident in myself and I'm independent and I'm like, I'm fine with being by myself, it doesn't mean that like I don't understand what love feels like or like I don't want to fall in love. You can't get rid of that like romantic in you that easily, even if you also have other things going on in your life that bring you fulfillment outside of anything that's like romantic or love or right.
You always gotta be somewhere, but you won't say where. Why won't you say that?
It's almost like a match too. Gorgeous. Whoa, before, okay, I think as should have a match, right? Like starting a flame, right? Especially in like romance. I love the cadences that they're choosing. I think it's such a gorgeous chorus from them, the vocals. Oh, wait. Even like this idea of, I know it's like, I want it and you want it, we're hiding it, right? Like this back and forth of we both know what we want, but we're hiding it. We're trying to not give into it. We're both like fighting against this thing because it wasn't in the plan, right? Like, we were both like doing our own thing and suddenly we were like, oh wait, there's something. Neither of us was like prepared to deal with that. And I think that is interesting too. Even like the not leaving like a single gap of almost like not making an exception or willing to rejig that plan, right? Like it's something that neither of us is willing to budge on or make exceptions for, which is interesting.
Why won't you say that? You hide it, 아무것도 주지 않고. You want it, we want it, 아슬한 감정이 있어. Like a secret, your heart beats louder. 아직 몰라, 이미 넘쳤던 걸.
Their voices are gorgeous. Ooh, even though I've caught your secret, right? Like I one like the secret being like your heartbeat beating faster, right? And you also feel these things like I've caught the same thing, right? But it could also be like I'm holding that secret and neither of us is willing to like admit to anything, right? I know how I feel, you know how you feel. Both of us have a secret, neither of us are willing to actually say it out loud, even though we both know. It's like this strange like limbo that we're stuck in because neither of us is willing to like give an inch about what's going on, right?
다들 켜버린 눈빛 하품이 날 듯해. So brave, don't be afraid. 까딱하면 no breakdown 아닌 척하다 break out. 중심 꽉 잡아 right now. Yeah, you don't know that I know.
Ooh, interesting to be like, you don't know that I know. Again, like I'm holding on to your secret. Okay, so like more of a one-sided thing of I know how I feel. And I know how you feel, but you don't know how I feel. So you're not going to say how you feel, and I'm not going to say how I feel, because that wasn't in the plan. And I have to act like I don't care, but I do care. But I don't want to admit that I care. I just get that vibe of like, do they know we know they know, right? Ooh, the drama. No, I get it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have never been in the instance because someone can be like blatantly flirting with me directly to my face and I will not pick up on it. I need you to just say it. I won't know what you're talking about. Someone will be like, they were flirting with you the whole time. Like, when? I was too busy talking about how much I really like this one thing. And then they were also asking me questions about the thing that I really like. So I was too busy with that for anything else. but wow, complicated. I can understand the seesaw.
가다가면 no breakdown 아닌 척하다 breakout 중심 꽉 잡아 right now yeah you don't know that I know
Yeah, like holding the balance.
and you're sick of lying it's like your head's gonna explode
Ooh, 정연.
아무튼도 주지 않고 you want it I want it we want it 아슬한 감정을 씻어
This chorus.
your heartbeat gets louder 아직 몰라 이미 넌 처음
Just this chorus. This chorus, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's injected into it. Makes me float. And I just want to stay in it. I don't want to give up on it yet. I just want to float in this chorus for a little bit. Give me a second.
It's like your head's gonna explode. You hide it, 아무튼도 주지 않고. You want it, I want it, we want it. 아슬한 감정을 씻어. 너의 그 secret, your heartbeat gets louder. 아직 몰라 이미 넌 처음. You hide it, 한순간도 놓지 않고. You want it, I want it, we want it. 아찔한 둘만의 시선. I can't secret, so it's not just swallow. 너만 몰라 이미 넌 처음.
Voices are all gorgeous.
You make me think you're all of mine. What's your name? It's so burning sound. 다시만 순간 I gotcha. You make me think you're all of mine. What's your name? It's so burning sound. 당황한 순간 I gotcha.
No, I'm sorry, Nyan. I don't want to interrupt you, but I love that hey, the moment that you let your guard down, the moment that you get like flustered, right? The moment that facade breaks a little bit. I've got you. You just need to get to a point where like you admit how you're feeling. And I think that's such an interesting dynamic of they're also, again, like the seesaw, like they're both on this like ride, right? It's almost like a game of like back and forth of who's going to be having like the higher ground and neither of them wanting to admit how they're feeling. And it's just a gorgeous vocals that we're getting. I can help balance it out. We can figure out the balance if you just like admit how you're feeling, if you just say what's going on. Aren't you tired of lying? Like you look like your head is going to explode. Like just admit it out loud and then we can figure it out together. Gorgeous song too, just like the really like lo-fi vibe of it. It's just like really gorgeous, especially with these vocal melodies. I'm living for the vocals on this.
주지 않고 You want it, I want it, we want it 아슬한 감정이 씻어 너의 그 secret, your heartbeat gets louder 아직 몰라 이미 넘쳐 You hide it, I hide it 한순간도 놓지 않고 You want it, I want it, we want it 아찔한 둘만의 시선 I can't secret, so it's hard to swallow 너만 몰라 이미 넘쳐
Ooh. I also like just playing at the instrumental and it almost feels like unfinished as well. Like it's like waiting for the other side to say their bit and admit what they're feeling. Even though like lost is one of the words, again, like the game of you've already lost because I know how you feel, right? You're playing a game that like the rules have already been broken. Like it's already been decided because I know what's going on with you. I know your secret. I just need you like to admit to it, right? But there's like still a little bit of a game to it, right? I don't want to say how I feel because you should say how you feel because you don't know that I know that you know. So it's like this, again, this like back and forth, this limbo, this seesaw back and forth of playing the game and seeing who's going to end up actually winning, even though you're still like playing the game back and forth, right? Because you're like, I'm going to pretend like I don't know how you feel and see if you own up to it. But I'm not going to admit how I feel because I'm not going to lose. It's a really interesting concept for like a almost falling in love or like an almost something, right? That moment of at least I know what's going on. I think that that's so interesting, especially given the album like this being near the end of it. I think that it's a really interesting concept because I think it fits so well with the persona that they've had for this of like, strong, independent, I'm living my life, I don't need somebody else, I've had my heart broken, but it's not going to destroy my life, I'm not going to centralize romance in my life, I have other stuff going on. And then it's, oh no, wait, oh no, like that idea of, dang it, like I was doing so well on my own and I still have that like romantic side of myself. I still felt for this person, but I'm not gonna give up the power of the game in this, right? I'm gonna make them admit it first because I don't want to show the weakness of that, right? Going all the way to the first lyrics of like my curiosity makes me weak. And I think that's so interesting for this whole album. Ooh, okay. And I like the vocals, the chorus on this, ascending, floating, gorgeous. Every single one of them did a fantastic performance with it. It's just beautiful, light, soft, blends so well with the instrumentation. Just gorgeous. Final song, I know not technically on the album, but final song for me going through Heartbreak Avenue. I've been definitely singing the little section that we got in the mix. It's just been like playing in my head, so that makes me feel like I'm definitely gonna love this song. I don't love the title given some of the stuff we've been going into though. I don't know if I want to be on Heartbreak Avenue. I like the amount of acoustic they're incorporating in. Oof.
I really don't think I am the problem. I know I come and go pretty often. How many times can I give my all in? I'm so tired of patience and pain. They come as so package. Maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic.
Vocal.
When I know it's you I want. It's you I want. I'm done settling down, pedaling, backpedaling down, settling.
A little vibrato we got.
I really can figure me out. I'm wondering how.
Ooh, I know we're getting into it, I know, but ooh, I actually really like what we're getting so far theme-wise. Obviously, there's still a lot of song for me to get to. But I was saying before, I'm like, I think it's really interesting to have so much confidence in this album and then have a bit of a shift where it's like talk and seesaw. It feels like a little bit of a backpedal, right? Like it feels a little bit like falling back on some of that hopeless romantic, right, that we got. And I think that's really interesting to have this one where it's, I don't think I'm the problem. Like, I don't think that me putting everything that I have into everything in my life, whether that's friends or supporting people or lifting people up or enjoying myself or being true to who I am regardless of people's judgment, right? We've had so many different things throughout this album where it's just like committing so much to the things that they care about and that if they're going to give their attention to it, they're going to put everything in, which includes romance and falling in love, right? They've had lots of songs where it's, I'm going to put everything that I have into this and why isn't it working out, right? If I'm all in, why isn't anyone meeting me there? Am I the issue when it seems like everyone else is not willing to commit the same way? And I end up like having to like backpedal because I'm like, oh wait, I committed too much and actually I did the wrong thing, right? And settling, we already talked about I shouldn't be like settling for stuff like earlier on in the album by like options, right? Like I shouldn't have to settle for something just because I feel like I should have romance in my life, right? Like, I'm allowed to like keep my options open. I feel like that's also really interesting to have that like earlier on in the album of like options and not wanting to commit to anything. And then this one, sometimes I commit too much. Sometimes I'm like, once I make a decision, I'm all in and it doesn't seem to work out for me. Ooh, I like that already. I like that being something that's at like the end of this album of, is it wrong to just throw yourself like fully into something, right?
Chasing the sun when I know it's you I
Also the bass on this one too. Ooh, I love how like soft this all is, but also I love that imagery of I see all the signs and I ignore them. Like signs like road signs, but also signs like being able to see that someone is going to break your heart, right? Oh, I love the imagery of roads and route and signs and Heartbreak Avenue. I understand where I'm going to end up, and it has a bit of a driving song vibe to it, right? Like bright, and it has a bit of a summery vibe to it, but it's not like too high energy, right? It feels like something that you could listen to just like driving around, which I think fits so well with the imagery that we're getting. Wow. And I love that it's like really slow too. It's slowing everything down. It's like, I know exactly what's happening. And yet here I am again on the same road, going down the same path, even though I know where it ends up. I'm living for this bass. Oh. Tia. Hang on. I'm like the hurricane, little insane. That's fun. Again, like mixed with the little hurricane of this idea of it's not all gonna be perfect, it's not all gonna be smooth, but I want to be endgame, right? I want to not just, again, settle, right? Like I don't want something that is only like half committing. Like I was saying, it feels almost like someone who's committed too much and they're like, I need someone to meet me there, being disappointed or like dropping the ball. It's not even that like something horrible has happened to make this relationship fall apart. It's just like, you're not committing the way that I am. Like, I know how I feel and I'm like, I'm all in, but you're not there with me. Even though like I keep taking like one turn, I'm back where I started. But I was like, fun, we got the once, twice again. Always love when we get like a little shout out in their lyrics. But then we got the, I'm getting spicy. Mama, I need that phrase to never come from you. Thank you. Wanting someone like who's not playing a game. I think it's interesting, especially after Seesaw, which felt like a bit of a game. And I'm so tired of this. Is someone willing to commit? Is someone willing to meet me where I'm at? That isn't Heartbreak Avenue, right? Like I don't want to keep ending up on the same place. I want to end up somewhere that's like better than that, but I need someone to commit at the same time. It's not even like heartbreak here, it's disappointment, which I think is very indicative of what this is. I can't find someone who is feeling the same thing that I am. Oh, goals. Ooh, the vocals in the back. Ooh, wait, I don't want to interrupt you, Junghan darling. But all the layered vocals, and again, it's such a like soft, like slow feeling to it as well. I think that lends to not having this like huge burst of emotion, like not having this full commitment. Like it isn't this like fully falling head over heels for somebody. Like you understand that this is something that isn't going to work because this person isn't committed to the same extent that you are, the same level as you are. And I know where this ends up. I get it. And yet I just keep being here because I think it goes back to talk. Like I'm not better alone. Is it better than being lonely? Even though I know that it's not going to end up somewhere wonderful, but it would if you just felt the same way that I did. And I think that's interesting within the dynamic of the album. There's higher vocals in the back too. vocals. Oh, it's gonna give me a little musical interlude. Ugh. We're just gonna play out. Ooh, I love that, especially just because I love the instrumentation of that guitar with the synths and that bass line coming through. And I think that it's, again, like, it's so interesting to have this be the last song in the album. So much of it is, this is for me, right? This is for me as an individual, me trying to live my life the way that I want to, me trying to be the person that I am, right? And it's, I understand that this isn't something that's gonna work. I understand the signs. Like, I'm not dumb, right? Again, like, going back to like Talk, where they talked about I'm not stupid, right? I understand what this is, and I know that it's not going to end up where I want it to. And yet I keep being pulled back to this. And it's not like necessarily just like a one-sided thing altogether, right? It can also be that this other person doesn't want to be alone either, but they're not willing to commit to something. But it's easier to like keep someone in your life than to find someone new, right? So it's, I understand why we're still like circling around the same place, but unless we're willing to take some other steps, why are we still here? And even though they have so much like confidence and independence in so many different parts, it's like, again, you can't get rid of that hopeless romantic, right? Like, you can't get rid of the part of yourself that wants to love and be loved. And again, it feels like this whole album is that doing everything at 110%. And it's like, I want to do that with love. Like, I want to fall head over heels. I want to have all of the wonderful things that come with that, but I need someone willing to commit at the same time. Love is a relationship back and forth. And it's almost like you can get that with friends, right? With, they're talking about like right hand girl, and this is for all the girls, like having some of that like girl power energy. It's like, I can find people who are ride or die around me that are like friends, right? I can find that I'm ride or die for them, they're ride or die for me, but I can't get somebody to feel something similar when it comes to romance, and how it feels like I'm just cruising around in the same place that isn't where I want to be, just because it keeps being like the same thing over and over again. It doesn't even have to be like going back to the same person. It could just be like, oh, I feel like I keep living the same story over and over again, regardless of who I get into a romantic relationship with, because no one's willing to meet me at the same place that I am. No one's willing to commit the way that I want to. And none of it's that kind of true love or whatever, right? So I think that's such an interesting thing, like the emptiness that comes with some of the romantic lean of this album versus the like fulfillment and joy that comes from some of the like the platonic women supporting women side of it. I think that's such an interesting two sides, again, going back to the Seesaw imagery, right, of those like two sides of someone's life, or even like some of the career stuff that they brought in, right? There's so many different parts of their life that are fulfilled, but it doesn't change the fact that it's not that they don't want romance in their life, right? You can't just like, I don't know, girl boss your way. I don't necessarily want to use that term, but like the energy of that, of being like, you can't just like, fake it till you make it with romance, right? I guess you can, but it's gonna end up in Heartbreak Avenue, right? Like, it's gonna not be a great experience. So I just think that's such an interesting dynamic that they brought in to the album. Really fun album. I had a lot of fun going through it. I think Mars is still has my whole heart in terms of my favorite song. Sometimes I get to the end of an album, I'm like, I don't really know what my favorite song is, and I just feel like that song snatched my soul so early on that regardless of how much I enjoy some of the other ones, I feel like it doesn't make me ascend the way that song does. But great album, great performances from them, so many different like genres and sounds, and I really liked getting the units right. I've been recording for so long that my throat is sore, but yeah, I think it was such a fun album. A lot more English in the lyrics than I was really expecting. Like, I knew that we got This Is For, which was an all English track, but I wasn't expecting so many that had like all English in them for this, which I always had a little bit of a love-hate relationship with, because on the one hand, I don't think it's like inherently bad. On the other hand, I understand why it's happening. You get it? I can see behind the curtain, the corporate curtain of like why K-pop idols write or perform all English songs, and I think that it just makes me a little bit wary, especially since I feel like some of the lyrics do get a little bit of side-eye from me. I feel like I don't know all the writing credits, but some of the grammar and choice of language used does get a little bit of a judgment from me on that one, but I don't know how much say they would have had in that side of it as like the members, right? Because I know that they have writing credits on their songs, but I don't know how much they would have been involved with an English song. But I did have a lot of fun with it, and I do think that it has a lot of like potential to like reach a lot of people. I think that it definitely fits into a bunch of different genres to like reach different kinds of people who like different kinds of music. And overall, I like the message of it, right? I like this idea of the different facets of what it means to be like an independent woman who's like confident in themselves, all of the different sides of that, from like the confidence and the willingness to step outside of what is expected and be like a little bit weird and seen as like alien and stick up for people and to be there to support your friends and the people that you care about and to not let people's judgment get in the way of you being who you are and having a good time, right? But also having emotions, having vulnerabilities. Like they talked about like, being upset about things and being lonely and being heartbroken, and that doesn't like cease to be just because you also have like confidence in yourself, right? Like you're allowed to feel things and have those complicated relationships and emotions regardless of how confident you are in yourself. So I like that it has a bunch of those different facets to this album. But let me know what your favorite song was, what your thoughts are. I think that it was a really fun album overall, and I hope you enjoyed listening to that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to me next time I post a twice reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.